Identifying and understanding narratives when it comes to meme coins is one of the most important skills you can have if you're trying to trade and invest in this space. And getting good at identifying these narratives are just going to give you a huge edge and allow you to have the correct strategies and position your money before the major money flows into that. So in this video, I'm going to go over what are these narratives, go over some examples, as well as how you can find the next narrative. Without further ado, guys, let's get into it. First things first, what are narratives? Narratives are stories that people believe to be true. And if you can find these different narratives and position yourself into that narrative before the masses do, then you'll end up making a lot of money in a lot of situations. And what's interesting is meme coin narratives in particular are constantly changing, and what people care about or think the next big thing is the main question that you're trying to answer. So why exactly do these meme coin narratives matter, and what do I mean by these stories? Well, the narrative is where the money will ultimately flow next. What do people think is going to be the next big thing? What are people paying attention to? And you basically need to identify these narratives early on before a lot of other people think the same thing. The best narratives have the most amount of people all believing and agreeing on the same thing, and ultimately the money will flow there. That money then translates to volume. Volume means that token is more liquid. It also means there's going to be more holders because of that, and because of that, you then have a price increase in most situations. So it's all about being positioned in these different narratives early, and you never want to chase narratives once they get too big, because at that point the narrative can change at any time, and then you ended up being exit liquidity. So what are some examples of narratives, just so you can get it in your mind? Well, dog meme coins always ran in the past, like Doge or Shiba or dog with hat. And now all of a sudden, what about cat memes? Maybe cat memes will be the big thing. Maybe that'll be the big narrative of this year. And that's what's been happening. A lot of cat memes went on absolutely crazy runs. Another thing could be is about the blockchain itself. Hey, Base is from Coinbase. There's a lot of traction. There's a lot of volume. Maybe meme coins will be big there. And because it's early, you can get into some of the top ones now. Next thing, another narrative, celebrities. We just saw Iggy Azalea release the Mother token or the Smother token, and it went on a massive run. These celebrities have a big audience. Maybe they'll have more eyes and they'll pump very hard, and hopefully they're less likely to scam or rug. But in reality, a lot of them have actually been scamming and rugging, and you can't trust them for shit. Another narrative, Pepe went on a big run, so maybe Book of Meme will. This is called a narrative of a derivative. It is a derivative of Pepe, or it has some sort of close connection or tie to Pepe. And because Pepe did really well, maybe the derivative or the narrative of Book of Meme will do well because it has that story. It has a story. It has a narrative of why people may buy it in the future. And meme coins are all about figuring out what more people are going to buy in the future. That's literally how you make money. Another narrative, Bitcoin has a ton of liquidity that isn't in the ecosystem yet. And because it's the biggest chain, and because these new runes came out, which are like memes and fungible tokens, there is a chance that it could do well. So this is once again a blockchain play where you think a lot more people are going to get into some sort of ecosystem. You think people are going to get into that ecosystem more because there's a lot of liquidity and Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. And you think eventually that money is going to transition over into the memes itself. And then the final example of the narrative could be something like Trump, for example. There's been Trump and MAGA and a lot of different Trump-based memes that have gone on a big run. Why? Well, he's running for president. Maybe people think that there's going to be a lot more people paying attention to his election. Maybe he might actually endorse these different tokens, and getting into that meme coin might do well. Now all of a sudden Trump goes on a major run. Now there's going to be derivatives of that. Maybe it was Trump, maybe it was MAGA, but maybe it can even be something like Biden or Bowden, what other people have been calling it, where now all of a sudden Biden or Bowden can go on a massive run because there is now a narrative or story and people start flowing their money into that next thing. Hey, I missed out on Trump. Trump went on a big run. Okay, well, let me get into MAGA. Okay, I missed out on MAGA. MAGA went on a big run. Maybe Biden or Bowden or some derivative of that will go on a major run. So these are different examples of narratives, and you've got to be thinking to yourself, what is going to be a narrative that a lot of people are going to like and understand and then position their money into. And what's hard about this is you have to see and identify a narrative when at that point in time, not a lot of people were really thinking that way. So how do you actually find one of these next narratives? Well, the first thing is you got to have a pulse on the market. You got to understand what's happening. I understand that Dog and Doge and all these things went on massive runs. And I also understand that cats are like the main enemies of dogs in a way. And I know that cats are are a really big meme just in the real world. Like cat videos have more videos than any other piece of content on the internet. It comprises of most of the internet searches. So it's like, because I have a pulse on the market and I know what's happened in the past, now I can see what could potentially happen in the future. So it's about educating yourself and seeing what is happening in the market by paying attention to it. You also have to identify what is a really fun idea or something that the mass market is actually going to appreciate or connect with. You also have to realize that crypto is a global thing, and you need to find some sort of meme or something that connects people in general, regardless of where they're from. And the more niche it is, typically the worse that it'll do, because it can't get that mainstream adoption. People just won't understand it. The next thing is you can actually track where money is flowing, otherwise known as TVL, total value locked. And you can use different sites such as DeFi Llama to actually track where the money is flowing. And if you see a lot of money is flowing into Coinbase or Base, for example, the Base blockchain, you could maybe predict that some of that volume or some of that TVL is going to go into the memes. You can also take a look at which meme coins are taking off right now, and then you could think of what would a good derivative or a connection to this main meme be. Okay, Trump. I know that Trump is running for president. Okay, who else is running for president? Okay, Biden is running for president. So maybe some sort of coin like Biden will pop off simply because Trump was popping off. Or maybe you're asking yourself, okay, well, Trump popped off. What other things is Trump known for? Well, he's known for MAGA. Okay, well, let me maybe position some money into MAGA if I see one of those meme coins early on. And if I identify it's a good team and good overall project, which I've taught how to do this in other videos. The next thing that you have to really do is ask yourself, what is a story? What is a narrative? What is a belief that you think a lot of people would also agree with? And it's just the fact that you were able to find or have this thought process or see this meme coin before them, and you think that that idea will gain traction. So I've gone over how to actually think through these narratives, but to actually find them really early, you're going to want to be, I'm going to make another video on, but one of the big things you have to do is be on Twitter, otherwise known as X, be in these different shitcoin Telegram groups and see what people are talking about. If you see a lot of people talking about something very early on in these degen areas, then you can think that there are going to be other people that also are going to think the same way. And this is usually where these narratives are birthed or these main trends really start. That covers most of how to identify and find narratives. If you want to learn more about trading meme coins as well as other things I look for, check out my other videos in this learning program series.